Hello there and welcome to another Tinto update video where we're looking at Anatolia again. Of course, back in June, the 21st of June, we got the first map of Anatolia and people were pretty happy with how it looked. But of course, there are a lot of Turkish players of Paradox Games, and they had some things to say, some inaccuracies, some updates that could be made, and based on the feedback given to them, I'm not obviously not just by Turkish players, but by everyone with an interest in the region, there has been some updates, and you can see the result of that in front of you, which is, I think, really, really cool. So, let us get into the feedback and see what has changed in the Anatolia region for Project Caesar. Before I do get into it, though, if you wouldn't mind clicking like, it really helps me out. Maybe write a comment at some point if you find something that is worthy of commenting on. And yeah, subscribe as well, because it really does help me out. Anyway, moving on, let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome to another Tinto Maps feedback review. We're taking a look at Anatolia. As a forward, when we tackled the review, we found that in general terms the region was in a pretty good state. Therefore, the scope of it was more in line with the review of Italy than with the massive review of Tinto Maps 4. I need to remember which one number 4 was. 4 was Poland. Right, gotcha. And we could do it faster. Here you are, the log with the entire list of changes, which is juicy enough. Alright, so, how many new provinces? Sorry, locations. My apologies. We have 15 new locations, 9 new lakes, and 18 new wastelands. I like this especially because wastelands, I think, are ways to make the game just feel better, especially, marching armies around, the tactical situation on the ground, being able to hold choke points, fortifying choke points, that kind of thing is... I really, really enjoy that part of it. So seeing more wastelands there is awesome. Locations, I can't pronounce any of it. Kulu, I can pronounce that one. There we go. We've got some lakes here. The wasteland divided many wastelands into more pieces. Cool. New tags as well, which is interesting. Bengal, Buldakani, Chebishchizek, Kilis, Tavas, and Zraki. Nice. Let us quickly go over and look at that, because these new tags, they are all in a very specific place, and that is the explosion of the Sutayids. This is the map that we used to have, with the Sutayids being, a unified, united nation of one dominant power, and then it's been exploded somewhat into many different tags. Will this make the Iabids an easier playthrough, or will it make it harder? We have yet to really be able to understand if that's going to make that much difference. But moving on, we've also got another character, some dynamic names for Greek and Turkish. We have some corrections for renaming some Turkish provinces. I do recall in the comments of the Tinto Maps before, things like adding the correct accent to letters was something I remember seeing happening quite a bit. So, yep, that's cool. Raw goods changing, of course, terrain changing, locations, etc. And more minorities in the region. Love to see that as well. So, the countries now look like this. And when you fill in the wastelands, it looks like this. I really like, again, I keep saying it, I like having wastelands colored in. Other changes that I'm noticing as well, if we pop this one back on, the Hasiamirids, nailed that pronunciation, don't even worry about it, lost a lot of their land to Trebizond, and now they are just, it looks like a unique location minor, or OLM, as the new acronym clearly should be. OPM is in the past. Now we have OLMs, but definitely looks like that is what has happened to them there. Some more tags have been added to the region. You got an entire list above. The more relevant ones are split from the Sutayids, which are now more divided and start with disconnected lands, which will pose an early game challenge. With them being the same-ish color to the Sutayids, I imagine they will be vassals of some type to the Sutiids. Maybe we'll get some kind of information on that as we go through. I imagine that will be the case. Onto the dynasties, and we can hop onto the dynasties here to see if anything has changed. Not really. I don't see any particular change. Oh wait, these guys have changed. But that might be one of the dynamic names. But everything else seems pretty reasonable. Also, Killis is now a thing that I didn't notice before. That's cool. Not been many changes regarding dynasties. There have been some adjustments here and there, and also one of the new countries added. Cool. Location-wise, I'm not sure we're going to be able to see much of a difference here. Other than, of course, the difference in the way that the map is colored. I'm not going to lie, I do kind of prefer this more faded to this more vibrant. And the only real location change that I can see is Kalicheli or Kalichek. This province, Kalichek, whatever, has been split in half. I'm sure if we look closer, we can find more. Looking at wastelands as well. Let's see if we can see any changes to wastelands. I'm not seeing any instantly. Maybe actually around this area here. But this is the old map, and they've been merged in the new map. So I don't know where these new wastelands are coming in. I actually can't spot them, but you know, if anyone can see where they are coming in, I see one here. This one here is new in the Cilician gates, but yeah, that's cool. New areas, we've got Western Anatolia, Cappadocia, Cilicia, Pontus, and looking at, that's provinces, looking, do you not have an area map mode in the old one? It looks like no. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. We can't show the areas map mode. Well, we now have one. We're skipping the map provinces this one. They're exactly the same as last time. But the sharing the map is areas. It was not shown previously. Maybe I should have read that before I went looking for it. But whatever. Terrain map mode. We have cold, arid, Mediterranean, continental. Which reasonably looks quite similar. There's a bit of actually oceanic now in the north. That's cool. Let's see how that plays out and affects things. Onto the topography. I was trying to, remember the word topography, and I guess a little bit more plateau in the center. This mountain got flattened, let's say, a little bit. But yeah, not too much in the way of changes there that I can really point out. Vegetation, we're looking at some changes, but again, kind of difficult to point out. Some new farmlands being added to the west. Yeah, this has actually got 0 farmlands in all of Anatolia in the older version, and in the newer version we got a little bit in the north, a little bit in the west, a little bit in the south. Very cool. There have been several tweaks to the terrain map modes. Yes, very nice. Cultures, and this is one that I'm very excited about because this is a lot of new minorities being added. So, this is the old version. This is, Turkish at the center, Greek on the sides. Of course, there are minorities and everywhere, Armenian over here as well. And now, there are minorities basically everywhere. There is, it's hard to point out monolithic locations. Maybe a little bit of the Pontic in the north, a little bit of the Cilician Armenians here, but basically everything else in Anatolia is has not got a absolute majority of population. There is quite a bit of minorities here. This is awesome. Made several changes to the cultural distribution. Now there are more Turkish and Turkoman pops in Western Anatolia. They've also added Mongolian tribesmen to Central Anatolia, and in the east the Armenian highlands are more fragmented among Armenian, Kurdish, and Turkoman pops. That's cool. I like that a lot. That will also probably affect the religion map mode. So this is, of course, the old one, Orthodox, Sunni, Miaphysite, and the new one, that looks like a whole lot more religious issues over here than previously. I also quite like that the dashed lines are a lot closer. I like that change. That is pure aesthetics, but I do enjoy that change. They added more religious minorities to the region. Now there are plenty of Shiites, being the majority on some locations here and there. Majority there, Shiite there, some here. That's really cool. You might also notice a couple of blue minorities on the map compared to the Tinto maps in the center of Anatolia. And they've added the Tengri Mongolians, while in the east they have the Yazidi Kurdish. Very cool. Raw materials, another map with plenty of tweaks, though it'd be kind of hard to spot the differences there. Clay and lumber up in the north is changed, or it's now silk and clay. But yeah, we'll have a look at this. Another map mode with plenty of tweaks, thanks to the feedback. The overall design is not so different, but they've gone across all the suggestions to make sure that the resource distribution is even more accurate. And let's see if we can find... Yep, found a predicaments. I'm happy. Let's go. Perfect. Some notable, interesting ones. Some dyes there in, I think that's the island of... Lesvos. If anyone has played Arma 3, they'll be very familiar with that island. I'm pretty sure that is the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, that is the only source of dyes that I can actually see on this map, which is interesting. Previously, it was actually also there before as well, so that's not actually something that has changed, but whatever. But yeah, lots of livestock, clay, and I think another big thing there, maybe some lumber. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. These are the kinds of things that will be way more known to us, way more familiar to us when we start playing. Like, right now, we're just seeing what is essentially just a patchwork of colors with very little to tie ourselves to it, and I mean, it's pretty hard to recall where various goods are, but after we start playing it, we'll get more of a sense of, resource distributions of various regions, and, that, because that's going to be a big part of the game, right? Conquering a region because it has an abundance of a resource that you do not have is probably going to be a big part of the game, and, that may be quite helpful in making us remember, what is where. But anyway, that's cool. I like that. I like seeing these maps, of course. That's it for the day. We'll be reading the feedback in the thread as well, implementing further suggestions that they find reasonable as per usual. Also, for the information, the next map review they'll be doing is Carpathia and the Balkans, as Russia is also going to take a while and prefer to prioritize former of the latter. It won't be as fast as this one, and it'll be posted in a few weeks from now. And they'll have some people on vacation this month. Other priorities to address during the month. What priorities? I need to know. But yeah, let's hop a refresh and see if there are some dev comments for us to look at. Harbour suitability will be shared later when the map mode of all of Europe and Mediterranean will be done. We might be getting that next week, which will be kind of awesome. And they have new criteria, it seems, as to how they distribute these natural harbours and how they, determine what level of natural harbour they are each going to be. So yeah, it will be skipped for now. Some comments. Can you change the colour of the Greek and Turkish colours to the purple of the Romans and the green of the Ottomans? They may review the colours of the cultures. That is a good idea. I would argue... Yeah, I'd be fine with those cultures. Yeah, they are quite similar. Turkish is like this beige, pink... I don't even know what color you call that. And then Greece being this orangey beige. Yeah, it's far too close. Definitely thinking, Greek should be renamed, but it should have the color that Armenian currently has, in my opinion, would be quite nice. Is Ahis a republic? Yes, it is. Are the Aretinids a vassal of the Gilarids, or actually the Dokadiri here? Are they already established by the 1st of April 1337? They think it was. Are the Aretinids a vassal of the Gilarids or the Chobanids? They are in their zenith at this moment, and there are some mechanics linked to the Ilkhanate that they'll talk about on Friday. Love to see that. Of course, we know that the next map is going to be of Iran, the Caucasus, and Iraq. And then some specific country questions will be, we'll get back to that later. What's the name of the Tav country near the Mentices? That is Tavas. See if we can't spot that. It's a fast way of getting back to the map without scrolling so I don't lose my place. But yeah, we'll... where's that Tav? Right there. Cool. That is Tavas. Notice a different map style from the previous Tinto map with tiny mountain paintings and so on. Are they referring to the old coloured wastelands on the political map mode? If that's the case, it's a setting that players can select. The first two maps are the countries with and without the coloured map modes for comparison. He's basically talking about here. Little pictures of mountains on these wastelands. I quite like the coloured wastelands. What determines dynastic colours? They just ask the colour bakers. It's akin to the country colour, and in the case of having a dynasty present in different countries, it takes the colour of the most relevant country. However, there's a bug in the code which is yet to be fixed. Early days, you know, this game hasn't even been announced yet. We have full location of provinces, cultures, and resources proposal pending for Hungary. We still have the time to post it before it's too late. To be fair, it was posted 2 months ago. Basically, as we were getting the next review being of Balkans and Carpathia, this guy's like, balls, I have a bunch of stuff to share with you, but maybe that should have been shared already. Posted over 2 months ago. The first reviews were done closer to the dev diary release than this one, but there is time to post it because, you know, all feedback, even feedback that is given on this dev diary itself, can be acted upon before release, of course. Are the new tags in the east all vassals of the Sutigids? Yes, they are. That is a question that I had, so it's good to know. The game shortened names, we already know that. Something there happened, whatever. This guy's referring to the tiny mountains of trees you can see on the political map mode. But yeah, no, that is these. Depends on the level of zoom, apparently. You can see it a lot more over in Armenia. But yeah, that is all that we have for you today. I am quite a big fan of this map. It looks really nice. Let me know what is the country here that you are most excited in playing. Of course, for me, the first time I interact with this region will be, of course, with the Roman Empire as I, you know, reconquer it all for the glory of Rome. Naturally and of course. But if I am going to be starting in this region, I think the Iabids, which I can maybe... What's an easy way of showing them off? Because there they are. The Iabids. These are guys who are going to be my first play as somebody who starts in this region because that looks like a really fun game. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Let me know which country you want to play. And I will see you on Friday, not Wednesday. We don't have a Tinto Talk this week. I will see you on Friday for Iraq, Iran, and the Caucasus. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.